Good morning, everyone, and happy Motivation Monday. I thought we'd start this week with a nice Tom Peters quote, a man who's known for developing strong brand identity, since that's kind of our theme for the week is developing your brand. So all of us need to understand the importance of branding. We are CEOs of our own companies, Me Inc. To be in business today, our most important job is to be head marketer for the brand called you. I think it's really important to remember that the client is buying us. There's a lot of people selling the exact same product, but they are choosing to go through you. They are choosing to contact you for some reason. Usually the reasons are either don't understand the product or you already have that really solid reputation and they are calling for you. So we are going to talk about that today. Let's just get started here. So happy Motivation Monday. So this is a really, really big one. I actually have a lot of books on branding. In the adult learning industry and training, and especially in sales training, branding is extremely important. It's something that we eat, live, and breathe by. I know a lot about this. I'll try not to just completely overload everything. Referrals. Are you worthy of a referral? What does your brand say about you being worthy about the referral? So you want to take that same thought when it goes into branding. If you think about powerful brands, what do you think about? Some that came into my mind right away was Nike, Apple, and McDonald's. These are all very powerful brands that people recognize. When you think about Nike, I actually did this to a few friends this weekend. I said, Nike, what do you think about? And they said, well, I think about sports. Almost all of them said running. So Nike is that big running brand, the athletic brand. When I said Apple, what do you think of? They told me modern, really modern, sleek technology, easy to use, intuitive. I asked them about McDonald's. I got some mixed reviews there, but basically, cheap and quick is what they came down to, but they all recognize these logos when I showed it to them. These companies have built a brand and specialized themselves, and these are important things as sales agents that we do. We really want people to know us, know what we do, because let's be honest, that's how we make our paychecks. So if you have a strong brand, people will want to work with you. Right away is going to confirm your credibility. We talked about the main steps of the sales process, and the first one is the introduction. And in the introduction, people have to like you. They have to trust you. They have to believe in you. Think you are professional. That is the big point of an introduction. Honestly, a strong brand makes this already happen. It's one less thing to worry about in the sales process. They come in trusting you, believing in you, and knowing you're professional. The only thing they have to do is like you, which in sales, let's be honest, that's kind of easy for us. So the client knows what you represent when they come into you. So your whole process is just a lot easier. So a strong brand, flat out, it will equal more money for you. The most basic thing about branding, though, is connecting your values and your beliefs to your customer. So backing up your stellar service, backing up competitive pricings, and your expert knowledge. No, none of this comes easy, of course. So in the past, the concept of branding was really called building your reputation. That's a little different because it was beating the streets, that kind of things. But because of what has happened with technology and social media, it is so much more now. Branding is so much more intricate. Your brand now is going to be accessible by millions of people, and it's now all about the digital you. So when you start building your personal brand, just in the beginning, there are 5 main things to think about. The first one is the importance of being seen as an expert. So when you're building your brand, you want people to know that you are actually knowledgeable in what you are selling. People want to work with experts, especially in our area, because health insurance, basically, if something goes wrong, the client could be out a lot of money. You're helping people with something so valuable, not only their health, but also the security of their family. So to be an expert, you need to be educated. Note that's why you're licensed, but also understand the subtle nuances. We talked about working with a specific group, specializing. That is useful because you will know all the special small things about working with that group, which we're going to talk about in a second there. The second is really building relationships and branding. So it's important of being seen as an expert, but also building relationships. Before it was just face-to-face, but now it's really social media. So you should be active, having a professional Facebook page. You should be asking your friends and family to like your page so it starts spreading a lot easier. You should also be on LinkedIn. You'd be surprised how many people looked at LinkedIn as basically considered the professional Facebook. The thing about it, when it says starting to build relationships, I see a lot of mistakes from people going on LinkedIn, just putting their education in what they've done, and start friending people. That's useless. Honestly, you need to spend your time when you're doing these Facebook, when you're doing these LinkedIn, set aside an hour or two and build out the concept of what you want people to know. So you have to think about, what am I going to be an expert in when you are building that page? You have to start thinking about who your typical end client is going to be, or you're just going to have an empty page that you're asking people to like and they have no idea what they're doing. Again, you're going to build something and not give them any instructions what to do. They're going to be confused. Another thing is keep it personal, relatable, and professional. Yes, this can be kind of confusing, so don't spend your professional time on other sites that don't relate. So as you're working about building this out, joining groups on Facebook, joining groups on LinkedIn, joining discussion boards on LinkedIn, that's a really big one. Starting to build that online presence for you. You need to keep it personal, relatable, and professional. I have a monstrous LinkedIn contact group, and I will tell you, a lot of people are sitting there posting pictures of cats eating rainbows. I do not understand that. This is your professional presence. Don't make mistakes like that. Try to make it relatable too. You can post about things on your Facebook. You should honestly be posting probably every other day if you can. Post news articles and give kind of a blurb of what your opinion is. Post a podcast that you're listening to. If you're not listening to any podcasts right now, I would start doing that. They're going to help you really keep up to speed. They're going to help with the importance of being seen as an expert. You'll know what's going on in the field. Make it useful. Make it about your business. Make it about your brand. Throughout all this too, you do need to make and keep things consistent in what you're doing. So what you show makes a statement. You need to keep the same visual consistency with a logo, a font, a color. Big companies spend thousands of dollars making sure they use the certain colors and logos the same way and a certain font. I'll tell you, when I started, they gave me a design packet. What does that mean? We have how everything's going to work with your different fonts. Everything is very specific. Why? Because consistency is professionalism. That's what people are going to want to see, especially in your own brand. You want to look professional. You want people to look at you and interpret that you are an expert, that you are organized in what you do. Small things really do matter. What you show really makes a statement. Another thing is keep it simple. Keep it simple, keep it consistent. Things like your signatures and your emails. Some of them I will get signatures that have 7 or 8 lines, a quote on the bottom, a product mention, and a picture. Whoa, am I overwhelmed? I'm not even going to look at all of that. People get bored. They get bored within 7 seconds. If you're taking a look at your signature, what is the one thing you want the people to take away? You want them to take away your contact information and that you are a professional. Keep it clean. Keep your contact information on there. It's the thing you should also have on your signature. The only frill really should be your referral link. And the last thing is being willing to evolve. You're in an industry that is consistently evolving, and you need to show that you can roll with the punches. Having a brand is knowing when to pick yourself up and go in a different direction. Being flexible, being able to go with the wind. We saw this with major medical commissions. Let's be honest. The way they're going, we're taking a look at other products. We're taking a look at those short terms, those ancillaries that, have been ancillaries in the past are now going to be some of our main drivers. So when you start thinking about your brand, these are 5 things to think about. Experts, relationships, keeping it professional, consistent. What you show really makes a statement, and being willing to evolve with change. We're going to do some quick takeaways now on how we can start building our brand. The first thing is create your own website and logo. So what this is going to do is going to give yourself a voice, give yourself a presence. Because so much in sales, especially for accident and health insurance, is done over the phone, you need to give your clients something visual. The website helps build out who you are, what you do. A logo is nice too. You think, hey, you know what? I'm a one-person show here. I can't afford a logo. That's a lie, actually. You can get them cheap. There's a website called Fiverr, Fiverr. It is a nice website where you can commission a graphic designer to create a logo. They're usually college students, which if you don't know, the Nike logo is actually built by a college student. I think they paid him $60 for it. So you can get a nice graphic designer to create a logo for you. With Fiverr, you can pay them $5 to get that logo. If you pay them a little extra, between $20 and $40, they'll also help build out stationery for you. They may also help build out your signature. So really, it's cheap. There's also, with website building, there are a lot of really inexpensive websites where you can get really cheap domain and graphics. Second thing right away is differentiate yourself. What do you stand for, and who do you want to work with? Who do you want to specialize in? Yes, you specialize in accident and supplemental insurance products, but for who? Yes, we want to work with everybody. I understand. That doesn't mean you can't work with people and you're going to turn them away. But when people think of you, what should they be looking for? I've been playing around trying to find specialized agents. So maybe people who are recently laid off. I did find a few of those. Maybe you have those special alternatives to COBRA. Maybe those soon to be on Medicare, maybe small business owners. That's a huge, huge, huge market for short term, especially. Those people who are looking to create startups, who do you want to work with? Think about what most of your clients do right now. What trend can you find that you want to start to work with other than who they need health insurance? Start thinking about that trend. Another thing to do right away, start using social media. It is a double-edged sword though. So first, anything to do with business, you need to keep it clean and professional. A lot of things you need to keep out, kind of some of your own personal opinions. Keep out your cat videos if you could too. This is a chance for you to start communicating with the whole world on what you do and why they should care about you. So you are building that presence, which before, again, was from walking the streets, beating the doors. This is now information that people can get into a second and give them a reason to follow you. Also with social media, it really helps with strong brandings. It helps you connect to your referrals as well. So network as well. So you need to start networking. When you are building out these social media sites, you need to start finding other groups in your area that kind of do what you do and work with the people who you want to work with. Start following them. Then you can find out when their events are so you can start going to them to help get those referrals that you need. You are the expert in this field. You really are. I mean, if you've talked to your friends and family, which I know it's a lot of fun at parties to do this, about health insurance, they know nothing. So you are the professional. Give them reasons to follow you. Another thing too is you have to create a brand promise. What a brand promise is, it is what you want to be remembered for. So it's a promise, typically a single sentence. It's a clear, concise statement that explains what your brand stands for and how it connects with policyholders and prospects on an emotional level. So really what it does, it implies action. I'd start with non-differentiating functional features like competitive rates, great customer service, and then go right for the emotional connection there. So maybe it is to provide outstanding, accurate information to small business owners to help protect their assets they value most, their family. That is a brand promise. And the last one is consistency and persistency. You cannot give up on your brand. When you work, you need to keep it consistent with your brand promise. That's talking about providing accurate information. That means you need to do it every time, or cheapest prices. Maybe you need to start taking a look at other carriers to carry as well, building a bigger product portfolio there. You need to keep consistent. Also persistent. Branding is not something that's easy, or else everybody would be doing it right now. But it is something that is extremely valuable. If the road starts getting a little rough, but you know when it starts getting rough, that means that there's going to be big payouts in the end. Branding's important that way. Keep in mind, you are your own brand. And I thought a nice quote to end with here is a Jason Hartman quote, who's a real estate development leader. So your personal brand is a promise to your clients, a promise of quality, consistency, competency, and reliability. It's the truth we know. Clients want to work with someone who's knowledgeable, someone who's professional and fun. Keep that in mind when you're talking about your brand and starting to build it forward. If not, I'll see you next Motivational Monday then. Have a good one, everyone.